Discipline is the foundation on which all success rests. It's the quiet, often unseen force that turns our thoughts into results, our goals into reality, and our dreams into achievements. Most people want success, but they're not prepared to pay the price. They want the rewards of mastery without the effort of practice. But life doesn't work that way. The law is unchanging. We become what we think about, but what we think about consistently must be guided and shaped by discipline. Without discipline, our thoughts drift like a ship without a rudder. With it, we become captains of our destiny. Think for a moment about any field of endeavor. The artist, the scientist, the entrepreneur, each must submit to the demand of disciplined work over time. They do not rely on flashes of inspiration alone, but on the habit of steady, focused effort. This is what transforms talent into greatness and ambition into achievement. Most people look for shortcuts. They chase the easy way. They hope to avoid the hard truth that success demands something of us. It asks for discipline, the willingness to do what must be done whether we feel like it or not. It is this single quality that separates the top 5% from the rest. Now, before we go further, I want to ask you to do something simple that will help us keep sharing these ideas. If you're finding value in this talk, take a moment to like and subscribe. It's a small act, but it means you're saying yes to learning, growing, and committing to your own success. Because when you engage, you strengthen your intention to change. Discipline is not punishment. It's the highest form of self-respect. It is saying to yourself, I am worth my own best effort. I will not waste my gifts, my time, my life. You see, most people will tell you they want success, but they don't want to change. They want results without process. But life is fairer than that. It demands that we pay the price. It will never hand over its rewards to those who wish without working, who hope without planning. That is why we see so many who start with enthusiasm but give up when things get hard. They confuse feeling motivated with being committed. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the fuel that keeps the fire burning. Without discipline, motivation fades the moment the work becomes uncomfortable. So ask yourself now, what do you want badly enough to earn? What is it that calls to you so powerfully that you're willing to train your mind and body to achieve it? This is where discipline begins, not in forced drudgery, but in a clear purpose. When you know your goal, you can endure the sacrifice. The problem is that most people never truly decide. They drift, they conform, they let circumstances or other people's expectations shape their lives. But the disciplined person chooses his path deliberately, writes his goal clearly, and reminds himself daily of why it matters. He knows that success is nothing more than the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Discipline, then, is the method by which we realize our ideals. It is the daily practice of aligning our actions with our goals. It means keeping promises to ourselves, showing up even when no one is watching, pushing through when our feelings tell us to quit. It means understanding that our habits shape our destiny. The truth is, we all have discipline in some form. Even laziness is a kind of discipline. The discipline of doing nothing when we should act. The question is not whether you will be disciplined, but where you will direct it. Will you let your mind wander into worry and fear, or will you guide it toward creation and achievement? Consider the farmer. He understands that the land does not care what he plants. It will return whatever he sows. If he plants corn, he gets corn. If he plants nightshade, he gets poison. The land is impartial, and so is your mind. Your thoughts are seeds, and your habits are the cultivation. If you plant discipline, you reap results. If you plant laziness, you reap regret. This is a universal law, as reliable as gravity. And I want you to write it down right now in the comments as your personal commitment. I am disciplined. I plant success and reap victory. Say it like you mean it. Let it be the seed you plant today. But understand this, discipline is not something you decide once and forget. It is a choice you must make every day, sometimes every hour. It is saying no to distractions, no to excuses, and yes to the actions that bring your goal closer. This is why so few achieve true success. It is not because they are less capable, but because they are less consistent. Anyone can work hard for a day or two. Discipline is working hard every day, even when you don't feel like it. It is doing the small, unglamorous tasks that over time build mastery and momentum. As you listen to these words, I want you to ask yourself honestly, am I willing to do what success demands? Am I willing to discipline my mind and body to serve my vision? Because the truth is, life will give you exactly what you demand of it. No more, no less. If you demand little, you will get little. If you demand much and are willing to pay the price, you will get much. The price is discipline. The rewards are limitless. And in this first part of our talk, I want you to decide that you will be among those few who choose discipline over ease, commitment over comfort, purpose over pleasure. Make that decision now. Discipline is the art of self-mastery, and in this second part, I want to go deeper into what it truly means to master yourself. Most people think of discipline as denying themselves pleasure or forcing themselves to do unpleasant tasks. But real discipline is not about punishment, it's about alignment. It's about aligning your actions with your highest goals. It is the ability to choose long-term gain over short-term relief. Think of an athlete training before dawn while others sleep, or an entrepreneur working late to perfect her idea. These people aren't martyrs, they're visionaries. They see the goal so clearly that the sacrifice doesn't feel like suffering. It feels like purpose. And that is the first principle of discipline, clarity of purpose. You must know exactly what you want and why you want it. Without that, discipline is just drudgery. If you're listening to this right now, I want you to take a moment and get clear. What do you want badly enough to pay the price? Is it wealth? Is it mastery of a skill? Is it freedom? There is no wrong answer, only your answer. But you must decide. Because without a clear target, you will drift. Clarity creates motivation. It gives discipline its fuel. Imagine a ship leaving port with no destination. It will wander aimlessly until it sinks or runs aground. But a ship with a clear course can cross entire oceans. Your mind is no different. When you choose a goal and commit to it, your discipline becomes focused energy. It becomes the force that carries you over obstacles and through storms. I want to pause here and ask something of you. If you're serious about this journey, if you want to continue exploring these timeless truths together, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It's a small act, but it declares to yourself and the world that you're committed to growth. It tells me you want to keep learning. And most importantly, it reinforces your own decision to choose discipline, to choose purpose. Remember, every act of commitment, even small ones, strengthen your resolve. Now let's talk about the enemy of discipline, distraction. We live in an age of endless temptation. Our phones, our screens, our constant barrage of entertainment and noise. Most people let their attention be controlled by whatever is loudest, newest, or easiest. But here is the law. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot hold a great goal in your mind while allowing yourself to be pulled in every direction by trivial things. Discipline is the ability to say no. No to what doesn't matter. No to what steals your time. No to what weakens your focus. Every time you say no to distraction, you are saying yes to your goal. Consider this. The difference between mediocrity and excellence is not talent, but focus. Anyone can work hard for a moment, but those who discipline themselves to work deeply, to focus on the task without interruption, to bring all their energy to a single aim, those are the people who rise to the top. It is not magic, it is simply sustained attention over time. Your mind is like a magnifying glass. Diffused, it warms nothing. Focused, it can start a fire. Discipline is that focus. Another aspect of discipline is planning. You see, discipline is not only about force of will in the moment, it is about setting yourself up to succeed. The disciplined person plans their day, their week, their month. They prioritize what matters most. They eliminate what doesn't. They don't leave their success to chance. They know that every minute spent planning saves 10 in execution. Without a plan, you are at the mercy of circumstance. But with a plan, you direct your life like a captain charts a course. You may adjust along the way, but you never lose sight of the destination. I want you to think about this and write it in the comments below as your personal declaration. I focus on what matters. I plan my success. Let this be more than words. Make it a commitment. When you write it down, you begin to make it real. You signal to your own mind that you are serious. You set in motion a new habit. Because the truth is, your environment will test you. Distractions will call to you. Other people's priorities will try to become your own. But the disciplined person remembers his goal. He guards his time. He chooses his thoughts deliberately. You see, discipline is freedom. Most people think it is restriction, but it is the opposite. Without discipline, you are a slave to your impulses, your moods, your fears. You are at the mercy of whatever catches your attention. But with discipline, you choose, you direct, you create. It is the difference between drifting aimlessly and sailing with purpose. between reacting to life and creating the life you want. True discipline is an act of love for yourself, for your potential, for your future. It is saying, I will not waste this life I have been given. So as we close this second part, I want you to make a choice. Will you remain scattered, distracted, living at the mercy of chance? Or will you choose discipline, focus, and purpose? Because the law remains the same, you become what you think about. And what you think about most consistently with focus and discipline, you will inevitably create. Decide now to be one of the few who choose mastery over mediocrity. Make that choice today and begin to live it tomorrow. Discipline is not only about focus and planning, it is also about perseverance, the quiet strength to keep going when results are not immediate. This is where most people fail. They expect success to arrive quickly and easily. But the truth is that all meaningful achievement requires time. It demands that you plant seeds long before you see any harvest. Think of the farmer who works the land day after day without seeing anything but bare soil. He knows the law of the harvest cannot be cheated. He knows he must wait. The same is true for you and me. Our goals are seeds we plant with our thoughts and nourish with our actions. Discipline is what keeps us tending to them even when there is no visible sign of progress. Many give up too soon. They say this isn't working, and they quit just before the breakthrough. But success belongs to those who persevere. It belongs to those who can hold their vision steady over time, who can keep doing the right things long after the excitement fades. This is why discipline is a kind of faith. Faith that the process will work if you do your part. Faith that every small act matters. Faith that unseen forces are moving in your favor when you stay committed. Without this faith, discipline crumbles. You must believe that what you do today shapes what you will be tomorrow. Now, if you're listening, I want to pause for a moment and ask you to do something simple but important. If you're finding value in this message, if these words resonate with you, please like and subscribe. It's not just for me, it's for you. It's you saying to yourself, I am committed to learning. I am committed to growth. Every time you choose to engage, you reinforce your own discipline. You build the habit of showing up for yourself. Let's talk about the law of cause and effect. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This is not only physics, it is life. The effort you put in will come back to you, though not always in the way you expect or the time you expect, but it will return. This is why you must persist. You cannot sow seeds one day and dig them up the next to see if they're growing. You cannot abandon your path when results are slow. You must keep moving forward. Discipline is the commitment to continue even when there is no applause, no reward, no visible progress, because you know the law is working. Understand this deeply. The world will test your commitment. Challenges will arise, setbacks will happen, and people will doubt you. Your own mind will doubt you. This is when discipline matters most. Anyone can be disciplined when things are easy. True discipline shows itself when things are hard, when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when the goal seems far away. That is when you prove to yourself what you truly want. Because if you can keep going, then nothing can stop you. Another critical part of discipline is self-honesty. You must be willing to see yourself clearly, to admit where you fall short, to acknowledge your weaknesses without excuses. This is not about self-criticism, but about self-awareness. The disciplined person does not lie to himself. He does not blame others for his failures. He accepts full responsibility. He asks, what did I do to create this result? What must I change? This honesty is the foundation of growth. Without it, there is no improvement. I want you to take this moment to make a personal declaration in the comments below. Write, I persevere. I believe in the harvest. Let it be your commitment to yourself and to this process. When you write it, you make it real. You tell your own mind, I am in this for the long haul. I will not quit when it gets hard. I will keep tending to my goals until they bear fruit. Discipline also means managing your emotions. Your feelings will not always want to cooperate with your goals. There will be days you don't feel like working, like studying, like pushing forward. Discipline means doing it anyway. It means mastering your moods instead of letting them master you. It means choosing action over comfort, because you understand that your feelings are temporary, but your results are lasting. This is not about denying emotion, but about guiding it, about using your emotions to fuel your purpose, rather than derail it. As we close this third part, remember this: success is not a single act, but a series of consistent choices. It is not luck or talent alone. It is the willingness to persist day after day, through boredom, through struggle, through setbacks. It is the habit of perseverance. It is faith in the law of cause and effect. If you will do what others will not, you will have what others cannot. Decide now that you will be one of the few who persist, who plant and tend and harvest, because you understand that discipline is not punishment, it is the path to everything you want. Discipline is also about integrity, the promise you keep to yourself when no one is watching. Most people think integrity is only about how we treat others, but it begins with how we treat ourselves. If you tell yourself you will rise early, work hard, stay focused, and you fail to do so, you teach yourself that your word is worthless. Over time, this erodes confidence, trust, and power. But when you keep your own promises, you build inner strength. You develop a quiet certainty that you can rely on yourself. This is the real foundation of confidence. Not boasting, not hoping, but knowing that you will do what you say. Integrity with yourself is the highest form of discipline. This is why it is so important to set realistic goals and commitments. Don't promise yourself the impossible only to fail. Instead, choose what you know you can do and do it well. Then stretch. Expand your limits gradually. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows with use. But if you overload it too soon, you risk injury. The disciplined person is patient. He understands that small, consistent improvements lead to massive change over time. He does not chase quick fixes or sudden transformations. He knows that real change is gradual, built brick by brick. If you're still here listening carefully, you're proving something important. You're demonstrating that you care about this process, about your growth, and I want to ask you to act on that commitment. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. It's more than just a button. It's you raising your hand and saying, I choose to keep learning. I choose to grow. I choose to stay connected to these principles that can change my life. It is a small act of discipline that reinforces all the others. Let's talk about another dimension of discipline. Sacrifice. Every choice has a cost. Every yes is also a no to something else. The undisciplined mind wants to have everything without giving up anything. But success demands trade-offs. It asks you to prioritize, to give up the good for the great. This means saying no to distractions, temptations, and even to people who do not support your vision. It means being willing to stand alone when necessary. It means delaying gratification for something more meaningful. Sacrifice is not loss, it is investment. It is trading lesser pleasures today for greater rewards tomorrow. Consider the principle of opportunity cost. Every hour you spend scrolling aimlessly is an hour you could spend learning, building, connecting, creating. Every dollar you waste is a dollar you could invest. Discipline is the awareness of these choices. It is asking constantly, is this action moving me closer to or further from my goal? This question is a compass. It guides you away from waste and toward purpose. The disciplined person knows his time and energy are precious resources, and he guards them fiercely. There is also the discipline of routine. Success is not built on occasional bursts of effort, but on daily habits. Routine frees you from decision fatigue. It creates structure. It turns important actions into automatic behaviors. The disciplined person designs his day to make success inevitable. He knows when he will work, when he will rest, when he will learn. He does not leave these things to chance or mood. By building routines, he conserves willpower for the moments that truly test him. Now I want you to make another declaration in the comments to cement this lesson. Write, I keep my word, I live with integrity. Let this be your pledge, your promise to yourself. Because when you write it, you move it from intention to action. You tell your mind, I am serious about this. I will hold myself to a higher standard. And understand this, no one can do it for you, no one can make you disciplined. It is a gift you give yourself. Another essential truth about discipline is that it brings clarity. When you discipline your thoughts, you begin to see the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. You see your own strengths and weaknesses clearly. You recognize opportunities and threats. You stop living in illusion. This clarity allows you to make better decisions, to act with purpose and precision. It frees you from wishful thinking and empty hope. The disciplined mind is not clouded by fantasy. It is anchored in reality, and from that solid ground, it can build anything. As we close this fourth part, remember this. Discipline is the art of choosing what matters most over what matters now. It is the promise you keep to yourself, the sacrifice you make for your future, the routines you build to support your goals, and the clarity you cultivate to see the truth. It is not a burden but a path to freedom. The freedom to choose your life rather than be chosen by it. Decide today that you will walk that path, that you will be one of the few who choose integrity, sacrifice, routine, and clarity. Because the law is clear, you will become what you think about, and what you think about with discipline will become your reality. Discipline is also about the company you keep. No one succeeds alone. We are shaped profoundly by the people around us, their attitudes, their habits, their expectations. If you spend your time with the undisciplined, the negative, the unfocused, you will absorb their thinking without even realizing it. But if you choose to surround yourself with those who are committed, focused, and driven, you will find your own standards rising. You will be challenged, encouraged, and inspired to maintain your discipline. This is one of the most overlooked truths about success. Your environment shapes you. The disciplined person chooses his environment deliberately. He does not leave it to chance. This means seeking out mentors who model the kind of discipline you want. It means building relationships with peers who will hold you accountable. It means letting go of relationships that drag you down, no matter how comfortable or familiar they may be. This is not cruelty, it is responsibility. You cannot carry others who refuse to walk. You can help, you can encourage, but you cannot sacrifice your own vision for their comfort. Discipline is knowing when to say yes and when to say no. It is having the courage to choose the people who will help you grow. If you're listening now, I want to pause and ask you once again to participate in this journey. If you find these ideas valuable, please like and subscribe. It's more than supporting this message. It's a personal act of commitment. It's saying to yourself, I choose to stay connected to lessons that lift me higher. It's choosing to keep this conversation going, to make learning and growth part of your environment. Because just as you choose your friends, you choose the messages you allow into your mind. Let's also talk about the power of accountability. Discipline flourishes when it is shared. Tell someone your goal. Make it public, write it down, speak it aloud. Why? Because when you declare your intention, you add weight to it. You move it from wish to promise. Accountability is not about shame, it is about support. It is knowing that someone else will ask you, how are you doing with your goal? It is having someone who believes in your best self and will not let you settle for less. I want you to make another declaration right now in the comments. Write, I choose my environment. I seek accountability. When you write it, you affirm it. You tell your mind, I will not leave this to chance. I will not drift. I will choose the people and the influences that support my growth. This is an act of discipline, as real and important as any habit or routine. Because we rise or fall together. The disciplined person knows he is not an island. He seeks out those who will walk the path with him. Discipline is also about service. Many people think of discipline as purely self-focused, but its highest purpose is to make us better able to serve others. When you discipline your mind, your time, your energy, you become more effective in your work, more present with your family, more reliable to your friends. You create value that extends beyond yourself. The undisciplined life is chaotic, reactive, unreliable. It cannot truly help anyone because it cannot even manage itself. Discipline is the foundation of trust. People rely on the discipline because they know they will do what they say. There is a deep law at work here. Our rewards in life will always be in exact proportion to our service. If you want more, serve more. If you want greater rewards, provide greater value. Discipline is what allows you to do this consistently. It is what ensures you show up every day ready to give your best. It is what makes you dependable, trustworthy, and effective. This is not philosophy, it is the unchanging reality of how the world works. And I want you to understand it so deeply that you live it. As we close this fifth part, I want to leave you with this idea. Discipline is not about control for its own sake. It is about freedom. The freedom to choose your path, the freedom to build your future, the freedom to serve at the highest level. When you are disciplined, you are not at the mercy of circumstance, mood, or other people's expectations. You choose, you act, you create. So decide now. Will you drift or will you direct? Will you conform or will you lead? Will you react or will you create? Remember always that you become what you think about, and what you think about with discipline will shape your destiny. Choose wisely and choose today. Discipline is the art of managing your time as the precious, irreplaceable resource that it is. Too many people treat time as if it were infinite. wasting hours on trivial distractions, meaningless entertainment, and unimportant tasks. They tell themselves they'll get serious tomorrow, that they'll start their real work someday. But someday is not a day on the calendar. The disciplined person understands that today is all he has, and he uses it well. He plans his days with intention. He knows what must be done and when it must be done. He protects his time from thieves, both external and internal. Time management is not about being busy. Many people are busy all day and accomplish nothing of value. True discipline is knowing the difference between activity and productivity. It is asking constantly, is this moving me closer to my goal? Is this the best use of my time right now? It is prioritizing the vital few over the trivial many. It is focusing on high-impact actions rather than being distracted by urgent but unimportant tasks. The disciplined person knows that saying yes to one thing means saying no to another, and he chooses wisely. I want you to pause for a moment and reflect on this. If these ideas resonate with you, if you want to keep exploring these truths together, take a moment now to like and subscribe. Not just for this message, but as an act of commitment to yourself. To say, I choose to make learning a priority. I choose to invest my time in ideas that help me grow, because every choice you make about your time is a declaration of your values. Make sure your choices reflect who you truly want to be. Let's also talk about the discipline of setting boundaries. So many people fail to protect their time because they fear saying no. They want to please everyone, to be liked, to avoid conflict. But every yes you give to something unimportant is a no to what truly matters. Discipline is the courage to say no when you need to. No to extra commitments that don't serve your goals. No to people who drain your energy. No to habits that waste your time. Boundaries are not selfish, they are necessary. They are how you make space for the work that matters. Another critical dimension of discipline is rest. Many people think discipline means working all the time, never stopping, never relaxing. But true discipline includes knowing when to rest, recharge, and recover. Without rest, your work becomes sloppy, your focus fades, your energy drains. The disciplined person understands that rest is not laziness, it is preparation. Just as an athlete trains intensely and then rests to allow the body to recover, you must allow your mind and spirit time to renew. This balance is essential for sustained success. I want you to write this declaration in the comments right now as your commitment. I value my time. I choose my priorities. When you write it, you make it real. You tell your own mind, I will no longer drift through my days. I will choose how I spend my time with purpose. Because this is one of the greatest acts of discipline you can perform. The undisciplined scatter their time and energy in 1,000 directions and wonder why they achieve nothing. The disciplined focus it like a laser and achieve extraordinary results. Discipline also requires humility. The willingness to learn, to admit you don't know everything, to seek guidance from those who have walked the path before you. The undisciplined mind is arrogant, thinking it knows enough already. But the disciplined mind is open, curious, and eager to improve. It reads, it studies, it listens. It asks questions and reflects on the answers. It is willing to be wrong today in order to be right tomorrow. This humility is not weakness, it is strength. It is the foundation of mastery in any field. As we close this 6th part, remember this. Your time is your life. How you spend your days is how you spend your years, and how you spend your years is how you spend your life. There is no mystery here. Success is not luck, it is disciplined, purposeful use of time. It is knowing what you want, choosing your priorities, setting boundaries, allowing rest, and remaining humble enough to keep learning. Decide today to treat your time with the respect it deserves, because you will become what you think about, and what you think about with discipline and focus will become the life you live. Discipline is the mastery of your thoughts. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess, but for most people it runs wild, reacting to every fear, distraction, or impulse without direction or purpose. The disciplined person understands that the mind must be trained, just as the body must be exercised, if it is to serve instead of sabotage. He chooses his thoughts deliberately, rejects the negative and unproductive, and focuses on what will move him forward. He does not indulge in worry, resentment, or fear. Instead, he cultivates gratitude, focus, and possibility. This is not wishful thinking, it is mental discipline. Consider this truth. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can always control how you interpret it, how you think about it, and how you respond. The undisciplined mind blames circumstances, other people, or fate. It complains. It focuses on problems. The disciplined mind seeks solutions. It asks, what can I learn? How can I grow? What is within my control? It chooses thoughts that empower rather than weaken. This mental discipline is what separates those who are defeated by life from those who master it. If you're hearing these words now, take a moment to participate in this journey. Like and subscribe. It may seem small, but it's an act of intention. It's you saying, I choose to feed my mind with ideas that strengthen me. I choose to stay connected to truths that guide me. Because what you allow into your mind shapes who you become. You cannot plant weeds and harvest wheat. Choose your thoughts the way a farmer chooses his seed, carefully and with purpose. Let's talk about the power of visualization. The disciplined mind uses imagination deliberately. Most people let their imagination run wild with worry, imagining worst-case scenarios and feeding their fears. But you can choose to use your imagination as a tool for creation. You can picture your goal in vivid detail. You can see yourself achieving it. You can rehearse success in your mind until it feels natural. This is not fantasy, it is preparation. The mind believes what it is shown repeatedly. Visualization is mental training. Athletes use it, leaders use it. Anyone serious about success uses it. Another aspect of mental discipline is affirmations. Words have power. What you say to yourself shapes what you believe, and what you believe shapes what you do. The disciplined person chooses affirmations that align with his goals. He repeats them until they become part of his thinking. He does not say, I can't, I'm not good enough, or it's impossible. He says, I am capable, I am disciplined, I achieve my goals. These are not empty words. They are seeds planted in the fertile soil of the mind. I want you to make another declaration right now in the comments. Write, I master my thoughts. I shape my destiny. When you write it, you make it real. You tell your own mind, I will no longer allow my thoughts to wander without purpose. I will guide them. I will train them. Because discipline begins in the mind. It is the root from which all other forms of discipline grow. Mental discipline also means guarding what you allow into your mind. Be mindful of what you read, watch, and listen to. The undisciplined consume anything without thought, filling their minds with fear, anger, envy, or trivial distractions. The disciplined choose carefully. They seek wisdom, inspiration, knowledge. They understand that everything they consume shapes them in some way. Just as you would not eat poison, do not feed your mind with it. Choose what nourishes you. As we close this 7th part, remember this. Your mind is your greatest asset or your greatest liability. It will build you up or tear you down depending on how you use it. Discipline is the key. The disciplined mind is clear, focused, positive, and deliberate. It does not drift or react, it chooses. Decide today to master your thoughts, to guide them toward what you want to create. Because you will become what you think about, and what you think about with discipline will shape the life you live. Discipline is the unwavering commitment to action. All the planning, the focus, the mental training mean nothing without action. This is where most people fail. They think about what they want, they talk about what they want, but they never consistently do what is required to get it. Discipline bridges the gap between intention and result. It is waking up early even when you want to sleep. It is working when you'd rather relax. It is studying when you'd prefer to be entertained. It is choosing to move when you'd rather stay still. Action is the test of all other disciplines because it proves your commitment in the real world. Action also creates momentum. Many people wait to feel motivated before they act, but motivation often follows action, not the other way around. The disciplined person understands this. He knows that by taking the first step, no matter how small, he begins to generate energy, clarity, and confidence. He uses action to break through fear and doubt. He knows that problems often seem larger in the mind than they do in reality. By taking consistent action, he reduces obstacles to manageable size and discovers solutions he could not see while sitting still. If you're listening now and you've made it this far, you are proving something important about yourself. You're showing the willingness to learn, to grow, to stay with a message that challenges you. And I want to ask you once more, if you believe in these ideas, if you want to keep exploring them together, please like and subscribe. Let that simple act be your declaration. I choose to act. I choose to engage. I choose to take steps, no matter how small, toward the life I want. Discipline is also about consistency. Anyone can act once, anyone can work hard for a day, but success belongs to those who act again and again, especially when it is hard. Consistency builds trust with yourself, with others, with the universe itself. It says, I am serious, I will not quit. I will not be distracted or deterred. Consistency is boring to the undisciplined mind because it wants novelty and excitement. But the disciplined understand that excellence is built on repetition, practice, daily commitment. The same work done with greater skill, greater insight, greater care each time. Another dimension of disciplined action is adaptability. Discipline does not mean rigidly doing the same thing even when it fails. It means consistently pursuing your goal while being flexible in your methods. It is paying attention to results, learning from feedback, adjusting your strategy. The disciplined person does not make excuses. He makes improvements. He asks, what did I learn? How can I do better? This humility allows him to evolve while others stagnate. It keeps him moving forward when others get stuck. I want you to write your final declaration for this series in the comments. Write, I take consistent action. I build my future. When you write it, you seal your commitment. You say to yourself and to anyone who reads it, I will not only think, I will not only plan, I will do. Because discipline without action is an empty promise. But discipline with action is unstoppable. It is the force that changes lives, builds fortunes, creates legacies. And remember this, the law is always working. For every action, there is a reaction. For every seed you plant, there will be a harvest. The question is only what seeds you choose to plant, and whether you will keep tending them until they grow. You cannot cheat the law, you cannot skip the process, but you can choose to work with it, to honor it, to use it to build the life you want. This is the true promise of discipline, that if you will do your part, life will respond. Not always immediately, not always easily, but inevitably. As we close this final part of our talk, let me leave you with this. Discipline is not about making life harder. It is about making life better. It is the price you pay for freedom, for mastery, for peace of mind. It is the daily choice to live with intention instead of drifting, to create instead of react, to become instead of settle. It is the foundation of all success, all achievement, all meaning. Choose discipline. Choose action. Choose the life you truly want. And if this message has spoken to you, I ask you now to share it, to comment, to like, to subscribe. Not for me, but for yourself. Because every time you choose to engage, you choose to grow. You choose to become